Hello students, welcome to my online classroom. Today in this video I am going to teach you an elementary school classroom in a slum part 1. This poem is from our English reader Flamingo and it is composed by Stephen Spender. Stephen Spender was an English poet. He was born in 1909. He was known as essayist, but he was very interested in politics and declared himself as a socialist and pacifist. In this poem, he has described the condition of poor people, social injustice and inequalities in the society. And the central theme of the poem is social injustice and class inequalities. Actually, he was a writer, but he used to think about the society. In the society, especially the poor people, how they were deprived, still in the developed world in which way they are living. They are very away from the present developed world, still their life is very backward. So in this poem, Elementary School Classroom in a Slum, he is describing that still in developed world in which way these poor students or children are getting their education. So now let's move on to poem. Students, here I have written meaning of some words here, but the composition of the poem is not so easy, so many words will come here. These words I'll tell the meaning of these words during explaining the poem. So please you keep your book open, hold one pencil also, and here many poetic devices are also used. So I'll try to tell these devices also. Okay, so you need to pay more attention here. Let's take up the poem, first stanza onward. Far, far from gusty waves, these children's faces, like rootless weeds, the hair torn round their pallor, the tall girl with her wagged down head, the paper-seeming boy with red eyes, the stunted, unlucky hair of twisted bones, reciting a father's gnarled disease. Here, his lessons from his desk at back of the dim class, one unnoted, sweet and young, his eyes live in a dream of a squirrel's game in tree room. Other than this, first line, far, far from gusty waves. So beginning one word, here wherever one word will come 2 times or 3 times, so this is called repetition. So very first line, far, far from gusty waves. So in this line, repetition poetic device is used. You can write there, far, far from gusty waves means gusty waves, these children's faces. So the children or the students, those who are in the class, they are very, very away from this developed world. So gusty waves are symbolizing here that how the world has been developed, but these children are still very backward. Like rootless weeds, these children are compared here like rootless weeds means useless grass. So these children are like a rootless weeds means like a weeds means they are rootless. So in second line you write here like comparison is there. So like rootless weeds is a here simile is there. So you can write simile poetic device is used here. The hair torn round their pallor. Their hair torn round means not properly combed hair and their faces are looking very pale and dull. Here next line the poet is describing that which type of or who are in the class. So describing about the students in the class. So first one he is taking the tall girl with her wagged down head. One tall girl is there but she has bent down her head. She might have pain or any kind of stress in her head. So she has bent down. So how type of girl? She is a tall girl. Next one, she is taking the paper seaming boy. One boy is also sitting there among the students. So he is called paper seaming. Paper seaming means very thin like a paper. Is called paper seaming boy. So the paper seaming boy here, it is implied simile. So you can write here metaphor is here with red size, and the paper seaming boy is having red size here. Which device is here? Red size. So here it is implied simile is used. So wherever implied simile is used, it is called metaphor. So why red size? So the boy is very thin like a paper, and red size means he is very hungry. So here he is having red size. Red size means eyes of reds always search food. So the boy is not fed properly, or he is not, or his parents are not able to give him sufficient food. So he is looking very hungry. So it is called red size. The stunted unlucky hair. And third one is given, the stunted unlucky hair of twisted bone. This is one third boy. How he is there? Stunted means not developed or underdeveloped. Unlucky hair. Hair means successor. He is unlucky successor of twisted bone. Why he is called unlucky? Because he is having twisted bone, means his bones also not properly developed. And what this boy is doing? Reciting a father's gnarled disease. Here reciting means not singing, but reciting means here he is telling about his father's disease. Reciting a father's gnarled disease. So his father may be having any tough or any disease. This is called here gnarled. Gnarled means the disease which may have some glands in some part of our body. So he is telling that how he got as a successor of his father this disease. So he is telling these things to others. And here fourth one, here his lesson from his desk at back of the dim class. One unnoted sweet young, his eyes live in a dream. And here one more boy, he is not interested in his class or in his lesson what teacher is teaching there, and he sat in the last bench of the class, and he is called unnoted, means the teacher is not able to notice over him that what he is doing there, because he is sitting in the last and the light may not be sufficient there. But how the boy is described here? He is sweet and young boy, he is good looking. One young boy is there, and what he is doing there? His eyes live in a dream. In the back bench, he is dreaming. What he is dreaming? Dreaming of a squirrel game. In his dream, in his imagination, he is playing one squirrel game, and he is thinking that he is in a tree room. Tree room means in a tree there may be one hole, and there squirrels may play there. It is called tree room. So he is thinking that he is in a tree room. That's why he is not paying any attention, or so not showing any interest to learn his lesson, what his teacher is teaching there. Now let's move on to next stanza here. On sour cream walls, donation Shakespeare's had. On sour cream's wall. Here sour cream means the very pale or off-white or dirty type which were not painted for many years. This is the color of the walls are described here, that how type of walls are there in the class. So in the second paragraph, the poet is describing how the walls are there, how the windows are there, what other things are there. In first stanza, what he told, that how type of students are there. So he is now first taking the walls. So how type of walls are there in the classroom? So the walls are not painted. They were very pale and dirty. And donation Shakespeare's had. Here donation means what other things are there on the wall. So some rich people might have given some donation to the school. And what are the donations? The things which are appeared on the wall. So these things are Shakespeare's had. One photo of Shakespeare. So here what is Shakespeare? Shakespeare, you know that Shakespeare is very famous English poet, writer, dramatist. So it is symbolizing that knowledge. Shakespeare is the symbol of knowledge. Cloudless at dawn, and one more painting is there. There very clear morning scene is described there, and some other civilized dome riding all cities, and in some other sceneries the domes were there, and the domes were riding all cities means the height of the domes are reaching above the houses or the building of the cities, and flowery Trolleys Valley, and here some beautiful valleys are there, flower beds are there, and Trolleys Valley is also one beautiful valley. These all scenes are there, and these all are the sceneries or the photographs which are donated by some rich people, and they are hanging in the wall of the classroom. Open-handed map. One more thing is there. One open-handed map means one open world map is there, awarding the world its world. So one map of the world is there, and it is showing to them that how the modern world is there. And yet for these children, the picture of this modern world is not useful, because they don't know that what type of world is there outside of their classroom. And yet for these children, these windows. So what is the world of this student? Out of their window or through this window of the classroom, whatever they will see, their world is confined up to these windows and this classroom only, because they don't know that how beautiful outside world is there. So because of not being aware of this outer beauty of the world, beauty of the nature, these paintings what are hanging there are useless for them. Not this map, their world, where all their future painted with a fog. And because of these things, how the contrast is there, children are very backward, classroom is not properly maintained, but the donated things are there showing that they are showing high knowledge, symbol of knowledge, like Shakespeare's photograph is there, okay, and the images of trolley valleys and flower beds are there, and very open and clear morning scenes are there. So what are the use of these things? So what they want, actually they want properly built classroom, well ventilated, lighted classroom. These things are not there, these useless things are there. But how they are trying to learn in the classroom? And because of this, because they are not able to get their proper education, so their future is also not clear. Painted with fog means their future is in a dark. Fog means not clear visibility, means you know the meaning of fog, it may be kind of phase or the dense cloud is called fog here. So their future is in dark, they don't know that what will happen in future with them. So it is called that their future painted with fog. A narrow street sealed in with a lead sky, far far from river caps and stars of words. Narrow street sealed in with a lead sky. And now he is taking them out of the school, that how type of streets are there in the village where they live. And here in the title it is mentioned that slum. So this in slum locality or the area, the streets are not broad just like we are having in some developed city. So streets are so narrow. Here narrow streets sealed. So their future is closed under these narrow streets, in with a lead sky. And lead sky means the dark sky. So their future is closed or shut in these narrow streets, and there is no future of doing anything good or improving or for their education or their development. So it is called lead sky. So they were moving toward the dark, not toward the brightness. Far far from rivers, capes and stars of the world. Far far, again this word came here, far far, repetition is there. From rivers, you know that rivers are very beautiful object in the nature. Capes means beautiful landscape. So these children don't know how beautiful rivers are there, or how beautiful landscapes are there, how developed places are there. About these outer world they do not know anything. And stars of words means what is the condition of education. Here stars of words means how the people are getting advanced education. So what is the position of education in the world of the rich people? So they are very away from these all the things. Which all the things? They can't enjoy the beauty of nature, and they can't enjoy the advanced process of knowledge, or they can't get advanced knowledge because they are learning in the slum area, and the school is there in slum. Dear student, remaining part of this poem I'll teach you in next part of this poem. I hope you like this video, and if you like, please subscribe my channel and press bell icon so that you can get notification of my all new upload videos. Thank you for watching.